All right, YouTube, we're back on the Ford 300, and I got a question for y'all. I want you to let me know in the comments, what do you think this thing is going to make for horsepower when we get it done? Smash that like button and let me know your thoughts. But like I said in the last video, we got the push rods all in, and we're checking for any clearance that we got to do yet on the block, so I'll show you what I'm seeing, and I'm going to get back to it. All right, so we got the engine laid over on its sides so we can see a little bit better. And I got our nice push rods all lined up in here, and everything's looking real great. But as you can see, right here, this guy's touching a little bit. We got to trim that. We got to trim that one. And we got to trim this third one right here. And I already had all these marked, but never hurts to double check your work. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this all back apart. We're going to get the cam out. We're going to get lifters out. We're going to get them cut and blended in. And then we're going to hone this block and get it ready for final assembly. I'll cut you guys back on when we got a little bit more done.
Everything reminds me of Hurricane. See how it looks.
All right, we sure can. Kyle here decided he wanted to do it. He said he's real familiar with that motion, so
right.
I'll let him take the lead on it. Grab me that rag right there, Kyle. All right, let's get down here and get this wiped out. So you can't really see well on that one, but this one, you can make out some pretty good crosshatch right here. And that's kind of what we're looking for, that nice 45. So we're going to hit all of these and start cleaning the block. All right, it is the next day. We didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but look at that. Cranks in, all torqued down, and I gotta say, this thing spins really nicely. So, now that that's in, I suppose, piston time. So, I mean, that's what I'm gonna work on now. I think it should go pretty quick. And that's probably all I'm going to do today, and that'll probably wrap up this video. Once I'll bring you back in once we get them all in, right? But yeah, it's coming along. I got a new oil pump, so that'll be probably the next video. We'll be getting the oil pump in, the heads on, the cam in, all that jazz. What else? I got a new crank pulley today at work, so we'll have to polish this guy up a little bit, so we can slide that on. Let's go over here real quick, and we'll take a look at this guy. Now, I showed this guy before, but here is the trigger wheel setup for the EFI. We're going to use, if I can get it, we're going to use this guy right here. So, to get this on the pulley, we're probably going to make like a hub adapter, because I noticed that the new balancer, or what do you, dampener, or whatever you call it, I call it a pulley. I noticed that the new pulley has 3 threaded bolt holes in the center of it, next to the hole, obviously, for the big bolt. So I figured I could have my machinist friend make me up a hub adapter that will bolt to them 3 holes, and then bolt to this guy. So this is what we're going to use. And obviously, that'll be a whole video on itself. Probably I'm making that if I can get him to give me an accurate time when he's going to do it, so I can come over and do a little filming. But it's hard with machinists, I feel like I'm always in their way. So, yeah, so let's get these pistons in. All right, so I suppose I wasn't going to do this. And if you can see, I have the ring sitting down there in the bore. And you just push it together so the gap closes up, and you shove it in the board. And you use the piston to help square it up. But the reason I'm doing that is we're going to check the ring gap. Now, I say that this engine is going to get blown back apart, and it might. But it might not. We might put some boost to it. So I need to check these ring gaps to make sure they're big enough for boost. I'm probably going to set them at like 25, 28, somewhere in the ballpark around there. But yeah, so I got to do every piston, and it's going to take forever. So lots of work to do. So we're going to do that. I got to find my darn feeler gauges now. All right, so it took me a little bit, but I got my feeler gauge here. And I checked the gap, and this thing is already huge. Like this is 28 right here, 25 and 3, and it's going right through. So that's bigger than that's bigger than 28. So that's absolutely fine. Saving me the work of having to cut them. So we're gonna grab the second ring, check that, and we'll get her back together. Now, it probably bears repeating. Like, I'm sure most of you guys know this, right? You've probably heard it 100 times. But like, why am I gapping the rings, right? Okay, as y'all know, when things get hot, they expand, okay? When the rings get hot, they also expand. And that gap gets smaller. What you don't want to happen is that gap to get so small, the ring touch, the ends touch. Because when they touch, the ring has nowhere else to go, so it goes into the cylinder wall. And that's how you pop the top off pistons. So that is why we're doing this, because more boost, more heat, need a bigger gap. Like I said, these are pre-gapped, so we don't gotta worry about it. We're gonna check the second ring and get this piston slapped together. So, because I didn't notice, these things are already 60 over, right? Which, I mean, that's fine. What's not fine is my fancy ring compressor, that red thing over there at the back of that table. It only is good for 4-inch, so these won't work in that thing. So I gotta find my crappy one to do it the hard way. Yay me. The rings are already gapped though. 28 on top, 25 on bottom. Good for me. All right, wish me luck. We're gonna give this thing a bop. I can't bop it while I'm filming, so I'm gonna have to turn you guys off. I really wish I had the solid ring compressor, dude, but wish me luck. Okay, I ran out of steam. We got 4 pistons and rods in. We got 2 left to do. Josh is here. He's leaving, so now I got no one to talk to. So now I'm leaving, and we'll finish up tomorrow. And that's the end of the video. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. All right, everybody, we're out of here for real this time. I just needed to grab a water. I wanted to say I appreciate all of you guys for leaving comments and likes and supporting me and subscribing if you feel like it. All of you that have will. Even the ones that don't, I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are great, and you make me want to keep doing this. I know that we're not making this progress as fast as I'd hoped on this, right? It's been a little slow. But things are starting to pick up. Most of the parts we have now, and we have all the EFI stuff figured out. So, like I said, we're gonna get this thing to run and prove that I can do it, right? So anyway, thank you for watching Tall Garage. I appreciate every last one of you. I'll catch y'all later.